So what is HPV?
So HPV stands for human papillomavirus, and it's a big family of viruses that cause warts and infection in the skin and in other parts of the body. But the types of human papillomavirus or HPV that infect the genital tract, so the cervix in women and the penis in men, also around the anus as well, and even in the mouth, are important because they can result in cancer if the infection lasts for a long time.
So how can somebody get HPV?
Actually, almost everybody, once they've started having sex, will sooner or later get an HPV infection, and they won't even be aware of it. It's just one of those things that people who have sex with other people, which is what most of us do, will end up getting that infection, and it's pretty much impossible to avoid.
Most men, women or people with HPV virus may not have any symptoms at all. HPV virus infections are extremely common. There are many different types of HPV virus, and most of these HPV virus do not cause any symptom at all.
How does HPV cause cancer?
In order to survive, the virus kind of tricks the cell into allowing it to exist and to continue to reproduce itself. But unfortunately, that sometimes results in the cell going cancerous and losing control of itself and multiplying up to make very large numbers of cells, which is really the definition of a cancer. So it does turn out that some cancers are actually caused by an infection, and this is an example of that.
If you catch the HPV virus, that could lead to a cancer?
Absolutely, it could lead to a cancer. And we often use the word the high-risk HPV strains, and you may hear about that in the cervical screening programme, for example, that they look for high-risk HPV. So those are the types of the HPV virus that we know are linked to cancers. And that's not just cervical cancer, it's also anal cancer, as well as penile cancer, as well as some head and neck cancers.
So it's male cancers as well?
So male cancers as well as cervical cancer.
So how many people are affected by HPV related cancers each year?
So in terms of how many people get HPV, sooner or later, as I said before, it's almost everybody. But only a very small minority of those people end up developing cancer. But because there are so many of us, and because so many of us have got the infection, that still ends up being thousands of people in this country every year. And even though most of us are not seriously affected, we can't predict who are the people who will end up having this problem when they get the infection.
So there are many HPV associated cancer. People with a female genital anatomy will or can develop a cancer of vulva, vagina, cervix. People with male genital anatomy can develop penile cancer, and anal cancer and oropharyngeal, which involves mouth and neck. Cancer can happen in any gender. But the three main cancer treatments are surgery, chemotherapy or radiotherapy.
So how effective is the HPV vaccine?
This is one of the most effective vaccines that's ever been invented. It's quite extraordinarily effective. So we're seeing long-term protection against these infections. And in fact, these infections in populations where there's been a lot of vaccine use, the infections are dying out.
So what ingredients are in the vaccine?
Some people are concerned about animal products or egg or chicken or something that people might be allergic to. Some people are concerned particularly about products from pigs for religious reasons. So there are none of those kind of things in this vaccine at all.
How many doses of the HPV vaccine will the adolescent child have?
Up until quite recently we were giving 2 doses, but these vaccines have turned out to be so effective that 1 dose is enough.
So how long does the immunity last when my child has the vaccine?
These vaccines, they seem to get to a point where they just stay exactly stable and the protection doesn't seem to be going away over time. So at least 15 years and probably longer.